We have tonight. Tom Nation has gone to the dogs.
Oh, yes, we have.
Welcome to Calm Nation. Now, hey, just a reminder.
Yes.
We do a thing. We like to do a thing that when it gets to be holiday season, which is to say Halloween, we like to do the scary books. We like to do the horror books. We like to talk about monsters, which is why tonight we're talking about the dogs.
Yes. But the dogs are not monsters. Really? Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah. You're either a dog person or a cat person. But hey, this is a really great time to like, subscribe, follow, click, forward the info to friends and family because we're about to go play live.
Yeah. Tweet. Send out the midnight bark, the twilight bark.
If you want to play, you can either plug in this path or you can scan the code or you can keep it sort of low stress and just play along in your head.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, let's get started.
Yes. Today we're talking about stray dogs.
Stray dogs!
Mm-hmm.
And Stray Dogs is told from the point of view of whom? Birds, dogs, cats, mice?
It's not people.
Yeah, I know. It's not from their point of view. There are people in the book.
Nope. I mean, yes, there are, but it's not from their point of view. Nope. It would be from the dog's point of view.
Now, this is a horror story, which means there's horror in it.
Yes.
And we'd like to take a moment to tell you, yes, people die in the book.
Mm-hmm.
But the dogs, there are dogs and stray dogs, and bad things happen to some of the dogs.
Sadly.
You know, and if that's going to trigger you or if that's going to be an issue, do not read it. It is beautifully done. It is nicely handled. But, you know, I cannot read certain sections of this book without sobbing uncontrollably. And I've read it about a dozen times at this point.
Yeah.
Dark. Sad.
But if you've seen any of the John Wick movies.
Yeah. Animals were harmed in the making of this comic.
Not really, but
okay.
In the story.
In the story.
Not in reality.
Now, the first dog we meet, her name is Sophie, and she's getting a shot for what?
That would be Bordetella.
Now, the Bordetella vaccine is given to puppies, adult dogs. I think you might have to get it on a recurring basis, but I'm not a vet, so don't quote me. I also think it goes to cats, and it's a standard vaccine. It is given to prevent kennel cough.
Yeah,
it's an illness. It's like the COVID of dogs. It's very contagious. They get it. If you're healthy, it may not hurt you. If you're not healthy, it will. So, you know, rather than have the dogs all mask up, they give them the shot.
It's kind of like what we used to call the daycare cold when the kids would go off to daycare and come back.
Yeah. Except for dogs. There's a vaccine. And we're pro-vaccine here, especially for dogs.
Especially for dogs. Keep your dogs healthy and happy.
We're pro-dogs.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, this dog, Sophie, that just got a shot. Ow!
Ouch.
She's a specific kind of dog.
Mm-hmm.
Todd, what's her breed?
She is a papillon.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the butterflies that are also papillons.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're butterfly-eared. So the papillon Okay. Or in my world, a toy spaniel.
Right.
It's a little dog. It's one of
Yes.
those little yappy dogs.
Cute as a button, but yeah.
Cute as a button, but don't step on it because you'll squash it. Fits in your purse.
Incredibly smart.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yappy dog. Not my first choice of breed, but yeah, cute as a button and about as big.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, the owner of Sophie, the adorable little yappy dog, is worried that Sophie's going to be mad that Sophie had to have a shot. But
going back to the vet to get stuck.
According to the vet, dogs don't remember things like what?
Like what happened last week?
Correct.
It's like almost like short-term memory loss.
Yeah. So we're Calm Nation. Our geek runs deep.
Yeah, we like science.
And we like science. So we can tell you that Stockholm University published a report in 2014 that they updated and published an updated report in 2017 where they did experiments. And they did 108 regimented experiments on 14 different bird and mammal species, and that found that animals, no short-term memory.
Nope.
Now, if you're thinking, that can't be true, my dog knows me, my dog, etc.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Does he smell good?
Dogs and
literally.
Dogs and cats respond to stimulus. Yes. If they can learn that stimulus, that word, that command means something good for them, something bad for them. This means food. This means sleep. This means danger. They get that. But they don't remember things. They can't take it to the next level and be like, hang on, wait. I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. No. They're just, they just know what it means in a very primal way. Food, safety, security, danger, that kind of thing. So your dog may not remember you a minute after you're out the door, but when you come home and they can see you and they can hear you and they can smell you, they know that you're their person. They know that you're
gonna be there for the food and the walks and the leash.
Food!
Throwing the ball. Give us the ball. Give us the ball. Give us the ball. Give us that round thing. We don't know what it's called, but
By the way, this is why, sometimes you throw and then the dog forgets about it. Short-term memory. It's not. So, hey, Sophie's on her way to a new home.
Yes.
How many dogs are in Sophie's new home?
A few. More than a few.
A couple.
There's actually like 10 of them.
Yes. And I know there's 10 dogs in Sophie's new home because I counted them. Now, first of all, if anybody has 10 dogs, there's some problems. Okay? Love dogs? Love dogs. I tap out at about 4, depending on how much land you have, but 10? No. Of course.
That's a lot of Swiffer pads to...
Of course, there's the number of, shall we just say that the number of dogs in Sophie's new home varies?
Yes, it does change occasionally. Some come.
But when Sophie first gets there, 10 dogs. I counted.
She's introduced it. Yes.
And then the dog in charge, the top dog, if you will.
Yes.
Is who?
The alpha of sorts would be Rusty.
Rusty. Now, Rusty is a big old shepherd. He's, one of those herding dogs that is good at being in charge. And he introduces Sophie around, shows her the house. Heck of a guy, that Rusty.
Right. All the different rooms, all the different dogs.
And Rusty, lets her know things like,
don't get on
all
the
the softest pillows are where? In which room are all the softest pillows?
All the bestest, softest pillows.
Mm-hmm.
At least in this house. In Sophie's new home, or in the sun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the dogs themselves call it the sunroom because it's the room that gets the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where the dogs mostly hang out all day. It's got the sun. Yeah, their bowls are there, and
Lots
I'm
of nice
told
soft pillows. Yep.
exactly.
What else do you need? Sun, food, soft pillow. Life's good. It's a dog's life.
Now, at her new home, Sophie meets a Dalmatian named what?
Spot? No. That would be Victor. Victor the Dalmatian.
Yes. And by the way, if you got the Louis the Dalmatian reference. But Dalmatians, when we're talking about Dalmatians, we need to talk about
the other 100 of them, not counting Victor.
Exactly. The 101 Dalmatians. Yes. I don't know about you. It's the first thing I think of when somebody sends someone says Dalmatians. Yes. So Dalmatians. Todd, for no additional points, how many of the 101 Dalmatians can you name?
Well, let's see. There's Patch, Lucky, Keptig, Roly-Poly. There was one named Gay out of the book.
Yes. Please note that the original book came out in 1956, and in 1956, Gay was a perfectly acceptable girl's name.
Yes.
By the way, this is a trick question because never did all of the 101 Dalmatians get named.
No, because most of them were rescue puppies from somewhere else.
Yeah, but also, come on, 101 characters? It's a little stretch. So those were all characters from the original book, the book called 101 Dalmatians, and then it's a sequel, Starlight Barking.
Yep.
And then in the animated movie, which we all saw.
Oh, yes. Numerous times.
Who was it?
Well, then you get Penny, Freckles, Pepper, Blackie, Blob, Blot, Bravo, Bulgy, Bump, Corky, Dipper, Disco, Dot, Flapper, Hoofer, Hungry, Inky, Jolly, Latch, Lenny, Nosy, Pope, Puddles, Salter, Scooter, Sleeper, Smoky, Sniff, Spanky, Spark, Spatter, Speedy, Sport, Swifty, Tiger, Tiresome, Wags, Whitey, Yank, and Yo-Yo.
Not to be confused with YOLO. And then, of course, there's the animated TV series. There's 101 Dalmatian Street, the live-action movie, but yeah.
Which had a few other ones worked in there instead of some of the other names from the animated one. And
exactly.
But then there's Colonel Tibbs, but that's not a Dalmatian.
Exactly. There was a cat in there somewhere.
Yep.
Dalmatian.
Which is the Colonel and Sergeant Tibbs. Right. Colonel was the dog. Sergeant Tibbs is the cat.
Our geek, did we mention it runs deep?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Victor, the Dalmatian in question, he was rescued from a dire situation, and that was...
a bad Fleetwood Mac concert? No. He was rescued from a fire. Ironically.
Yeah, it's ironic because Dalmatians, outside of 101 Dalmatians, they're known as fire dogs, mascots for firefighters. And that's a tradition that goes back to the 1700s.
Yes.
And if you're wondering why, Dalmatians were really good they're really good at being around horses and carriages. Let's remember in the 1700s, the fire trucks were actually horse drawn, and the horses needed to be protected from horse thieves. The Dalmatians would protect them in the stable. They would actually keep the horses calm if need be. And then when the fire trucks went out, the dogs would run ahead to make sure that the horses had a clear path, etc. And basically, the Dalmatians would do.
Early siren.
Dalmatians would do anything that they could to help.
Yes.
But here's the fun bit. If somebody tells you that Dalmatians are always deaf,
they're not.
They're not. But they traditionally, as a breed, don't react largely to
loud noises like sirens and bells. They don't.
So they're a great choice.
Yes.
And they're cute.
And the black and white looks really good against that, fireman red. It's a nice color choice. Just ask Cruella.
Now, two of the dogs are named what? Two of the dogs have the same name, and that same name is
Henry.
Correct. So there's two Henrys. There's Earl, Gucci, Henry, Imogene, Killer, Roxanne, Rusty, Victor, Sophie, and
one more.
And one more.
Very special dog. Just to go with the master in the truck.
Which dog goes with the master in the truck?
Is it a van? No. Because it's not a van. It's a truck. That would be Aldo.
Yeah.
Aldo
goes with the master in the truck. I'm sure it will work out fine for everyone. Did we mention this was a dark and sad book? Because I think we should mention this is a dark and sad book.
Yeah.
Now, according to the dogs, the master uses a click box to make what?
Music? No. To make pictures.
Pictures. Yeah. The master likes to go around and take pictures of people, apparently, or not when they're not. It's a Polaroid. Click, click. That's where the click box comes from.
Yeah. For those of you that actually remember what a Polaroid is.
And the people and things that Master's taken the pictures of may not exactly know that Master's taken pictures of them. So I'm sure that'll all end well.
Mm-hmm.
Dark book. Dark, sad book. Did we mention that?
That the dogs are good.
Dogs are good.
Dogs are good.
The dogs are good. They're very well behaved, but the dogs are not allowed in one of the special rooms.
Right.
Again, we're getting the dogs are the ones in their language naming the rooms.
Yes.
They're not allowed in.
Since there's not a dog named Elvis, it's not the jungle room. So it's got to be the private stuff room.
It is the private stuff room where Master keeps private stuff. The rumor going around with the dogs is that's where all the extra special treats are.
Yeah.
But But the master keeps the private stuff room locked.
And the bacon.
Most of the time, the private stuff room is locked.
Yes.
If you happen to find the private stuff room unlocked,
don't expect to
find
bacon.
I'm sure it'll all work out well.
There won't be bacon bits in there. That's all I'm saying.
The master has a hobby.
Yeah, as most humans do.
What's the hobby?
Well, to coin a phrase, it's not domestics, which is actually what coin collectors are. He's into taxidermy because,
Yeah.
animals and
He
that's always a
likes
good
those
thing.
animals so much. Lepidoptery, I can't even pronounce it. That's like moths and butterflies, like the nice fella
Clarice.
from Silence of the Lambs. Um, and
Won't you
coin
come
collectors,
home? Won't you come home?
stamp collectors. But yes, the master likes taxidermy because apparently master likes to go out hunting
Yeah.
and shoot
Hmm.
things and then
Yeah.
take them home and stuff them because that's not creepy at all.
No. Not in the
And the
slightest.
master's house is full of stuffed
Things.
animals
Mhm.
and
But he loves
stuff like
dogs.
that. Because that's not creepy at all. Okay, seriously, if you know someone who's got, more than four dogs, I don't care if there's cats involved, but like a whole pack of dogs and they're into taxidermy, no. Just
No.
no.
No longer a dog's life at that point.
Now, Sophie realizes that something is off when she smells a
Rat. Oh, sorry, no. When she smells a scarf.
yes.
Yes.
When she, again, dogs don't have the short-term memory, but they associate certain things and
right. Like certain scent.
when she smells the certain scent, she realizes certain situation. She tells the other dogs.
They start to figure things out.
And I'm sure it will all work out fine. It's a horror book, y'all. It's a horror book. All right. We were talking about Stray Dogs.
Yes.
Which is a beautiful book. And it's actually wonderfully written.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the official blurb. It's scary being the new dog. In this suspenseful new series, readers meet Sophie, the little yappy toy spaniel, who can't remember what happened because dogs don't have the memory. Okay, fine. She doesn't know how she ended up in this house. She doesn't recognize any of these other dogs. She thinks that something terrible might have happened, but she just can't. Wait, where's her lady? It's all coming back to her now. And it's enough to raise Sophie's hackles.
Just like a Celine Dion song does.
We promise not to sing. Now Sophie has to figure out where she is, what's happened, and how she's going to survive. Right. There is no such thing as bad dogs, only bad dog owners. Yes.
It's
now,
true. The dogs are all good.
Stray Dogs is a heartbreakingly adorable suspense thriller. It is by My Little Pony artists, Tony Fleeks and Trish Forstner. It is adorable. It is accessible. It is really, really dark.
Very well done.
It's Lady and the Tramp meets Silence of the Lambs. But if you can't, and it's handled well.
Oh yes.
But this situation might be triggering. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tony Fleeks, the writer, he's writing. He writes and draws My Little Pony comics for IDW Publishing. He's done a lot of cover work.
Yes. He's also done some Turtles books.
Grumpy Cats, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And Trish Forstner, she's done a lot of I Little Pony work.
Mhm.
And again, she does covers and such. And
Animation stuff.
I seem to think that Stray Dogs was nominated for an Eisner Award. I don't believe it won it,
Nope.
but again, it's a good.
Yeah, it's very well put together.
It's
a
very
very
well put
interesting read.
together. I cry at a certain point every single time. Ugly cry, people. Not oh, this is so sad and touching. I'm like sobbing. Ugly cry. You've been warned.
And it's also a very interesting concept because it's all told from the dog's perspective.
And their mental ability, which sometimes
Yes.
they don't have.
Mm-hmm. Woof woof.
So, doing the leader's knot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Roman. Dark book, dark book.
But a good book.
But a good book.
Good read.
And yes, done by the My Little Pony. There is, if you yeah, it's well put together like a My Little Pony book is, but very dark. So we wanted to say thank you for spending some time with us.
Yeah.
Feel free to go check out the book. We're going to continue doing monsters and horror. If there's a favorite monster or horror you want us to do, let us know. I'm looking at a couple. One involves Todd's ex-wife.
Yeah, that's a scary story.
Yeah.
Far scarier than anything the dogs did.
But let us know. Like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend, telephone.
Yes.
And above all,
read more comics. And love your dog.
Yes. Oh, yes. God. Be good to the dogs, would you please?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Good to dogs. Be good to dogs.